Guys, I'm driving and it's, I guess, rush hour, but it's not traffic yet. As you can see, I'm going along swimmingly, but it would be traffic soon here. Hopefully I beat the worst of it, but got me thinking that driving is really the jungle. It is, man. It really is. If you want to see humans back in the jungle, just drive. That's it. That's all you got to do. The wild thing about driving, right, is that you can do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Like, say you're standing in line at a grocery store. You try to cut somebody. Obviously, if anybody's in their right mind, if anybody has nuts, if it's a guy, then he's gonna be like, yo, no, I was here. And then if you still try to cut him, he's gonna be like, no, dude, I was here. And then if you still if you keep it up, then it's gonna be an altercation. There's gonna be a problem. Obviously. Just obviously. But not so on the interstate. Not so, I mean, just anywhere driving. Not so. Aside from the very rare case of extreme road rage where, some dude waits for the dude in front of him to get to a stoplight, and then he gets out and shoots him dead or something, or brings a bat out of his trunk or some sort of tool, just starts beating the living hell out of him or his car. There really is no consequence to your actions on the road. Aside from, obviously, police, the odd time that you get ticketed for speeding or something. But there's so many unspoken rules of the road that people break on a daily basis. I mean, just think, all you watching right now, you've driven, and most of us hate driving, especially in traffic. Most people hate traffic. They're constantly complaining about traffic. They plan their whole days. Sometimes people plan their whole days around traffic, trying to get out of traffic or trying to get the least amount of traffic possible. And it's they'll complain about traffic, then they'll get home and they'll be stressed about traffic. They'll be stressed about traffic while they're in traffic, and they'll be cursing traffic while they're in traffic. And it's bro, you've been on the earth for 30, 40, 50 years and you still haven't accepted traffic. You still haven't accepted just that maybe you're just always gonna have to deal with traffic. And maybe you should accept it. Maybe traffic's just something that you can't escape. And for all the effort you probably do more damage to your mental well-being by trying to schedule your life and building and having this huge paranoia and aversion to traffic than just if you were to just deal with traffic. Obviously, for most of you watching this channel, it comes as but if you accept something, then it kind of ceases to have a real effect on you. But for most people out there, it's just a concept that they can't seem to, that they just have no grasp of. I'm just gonna just use sheer will, and you see people doing the craziest stuff in traffic, man. And this is not to say that I'm a perfect driver. Obviously, there are things that I drive all the time. I drive for my job. I drive a lot, for commutes and stuff. I think I'm better than most. I'm better than most on the road. I'm better than most. I would definitely say that. But I am not I mean, I'm still a human being, you know? I'm still a human being. I'm not a fully realized avatar, so, you know, there will be things that people do, and I'm like, what the are you doing? I mean, it's constant. It's constant. If it's things that I'm just thinking about, it's constant. But very rarely do I actually let my emotions take me so far as to get into how I drive, you know, driving less safe and doing some wild things. Every now and again I let the monster go a little bit. But man, it is actually wild, because the things that you do on the road, like if you cut people off, like it's really just a matter of how much do you want to get away with today? What kind of person do you want to be today? Do you want to be the villain, or do you want to be the fully realized being? You know, just like, oh, I've never done this. I've never done what this guy's doing before. Like, that's the crazy thing, is everybody in traffic, they all act like the people that are having a good day. When they watch the people having a bad day, how they're acting and maneuvering in traffic, all their erratic driving, they act as if they've never had a bad day. They've never been that person. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's just so unsafe. Look at what they're doing. Oh my God. It's like they just act like they've never been that person. Like they weren't that person last weekend. You see what I mean? It's crazy how we're all just, man, we're all just so stupid, man. Like we're all just hypocrites. It's okay if you know that you're a hypocrite, like when you're being a hypocrite, because I feel like then you become less and less of one. But it's not cool if you're like, if you just have no idea, if you're not even aware, if it's not even hitting you that like, oh shit, like I'm getting mad at this dude for something that I literally just did. You know, it's quite wild, the you know, the justifications and the excuses and the mental gymnastics we go through to convince ourselves that we're like better people than we are. But I think that the reason we don't like traffic, aside from the fact that it's the jungle, and really like, you know, you can't really do much. Nobody is going to do much, because in contrast to the example where you're standing in line at the grocery store, and if you cut in line, like some dude's just gonna, I mean, there's gonna be an altercation. Driving is not like that, because if you cut somebody, it's almost like, you know, if you really just get in front of somebody and it's like they have to slam on their brakes, you know what I mean? Or if you do one of those things where people are in a line, like to get off on an exit ramp, and you like fly by on the shoulder, or you like go by through the lane that's like open, and then you get over at the very last moment, so you get in front of people that were waiting there for like, you know, 10 minutes. I mean, they're not gonna do anything. Most likely they can't even see you. They didn't even know you did it. And even if they did, I mean, they're the ones that chose to not do that. You know what I mean? Like, they could have done what you did, but they chose to just be good people and sit in line for the day. But you chose to go and get it. You were a go-getter. You said, nah, I'm gonna grab my nuts and I'm gonna fucking teabag all these motherfuckers in this line. I'm gonna show them who's the real deal. Who's the real boss? You know? And it's because you did that. I mean, do you feel like you did something wrong? Honestly, do you feel like you did something wrong? The crazy thing is, in traffic, I find that there's not a lot of guilt. Like, there's not a lot of shame, there's not a lot of guilt, which is interesting, because you don't really have shame or guilt in a sort of ecosystem that's so fucking lawless. It's so just the jungle, bro. It's about what you can do. Dude, if you want to weave in and out of traffic and get around people and like save, 15 seconds on your commute by just, basically endangering your life and other people's lives, all all with this idea of like you're gonna save like 20 minutes when really maybe you save 2, because your life is so important that you need those 2 minutes, because like you need to start that Netflix series. You need to start that at 4:28, not 4:30. Because like that's what all these motherfuckers are doing when they're trying to get home, when they're all in a rush. It's like you're all in a rush. It's just like, oh, I gotta be somewhere, I gotta go. And then like we all know that you're getting home and you're putting on Anatomy of a Scandal, and then you're just like brewing some fucking coffee because you're fucking so out of energy, drained from the day, sitting at your desk doing absolutely nothing, looking at a screen, and like that's what you're rushing home, endangering the lives of all these people around you and yourself, just to get home and watch Anatomy of a Scandal at 4:28 instead of 4:30. Like, this is the world that we live in, bro. And you just have to accept this. You just really have to get to the point where it's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is shit. This shit is wild. Because like, this is literally, the person that I just described is literally like probably 85% of the world's population. Like, it's actually nuts. And it's just all about what you can do, man. It's just all about what you can do when it comes to driving. Because nobody is going to, you're protected in a aluminum vehicle with locks on its doors, and there's like hard fucking windows, bro. You can get away with so much because you basically have armor on. See what I mean? You're basically Iron Man, and everybody around you is Iron Man, but like none of you have weapons, and you have to like get out of your suit to like go and do something to the dude that's in his suit. You see what I mean? Like nobody's gonna do that. Like, you're not gonna Iron Man cuts you off and like fucking thrusts, in your face. Oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of my Iron Man suit and like try to track him down while he's stopped, and then just like, what are you gonna do? The dude's protected with armor. That's basically what it is. So the fact that you're protected is just, you can kind of do some wild shit. People can be wild on the road. This is where, and I think we all don't like traffic. We all don't like, especially rush hour traffic, because everybody's, oh my God, everybody's in such a rush. Look at the traffic I'm in right now. Oh my God. Gotta get in front of these 2 cars in front. I can't just stay where I'm at. I gotta get in front of these 2 cars, because then I can get over, and that lane's faster. It's faster by maybe like 3 seconds, but it's faster, and I need to get over there, and it's just like, bro, you're unconscious is what you are. You're absolutely mentally retarded. That's what you are. And like, yeah, I've been retarded before. I'm not gonna lie. I have moments where I lose my mind. But like I said before, I'm better than most. Man, I'm really struggling to keep my train of thought here. What was I just saying? There was a point. Oh yeah. People don't like traffic because it brings out the worst in them. That's the crazy thing about traffic. I've talked about this before in many other contexts, but the fact of being real, your realness comes through when the pressure rises, when the entropy rises, when the stress rises, when the heat rises, right? When the chaos rises. it tests you. It tests how you can handle it, who you are really underneath. And that's why traffic driving is like the quintessential example of this. It's it shows us really, I think that's why people don't like driving in traffic, is because it brings out the worst in you. Or really, more accurately, it brings out who you really are. Who you really are. Not just who you pretend to be. When you go to church, when you go to yoga class, and when you're on your Zoom call with your coworkers and colleagues, saying all your stupid business lingo, optimizing, carrying this persona around, going out with your friend group, meeting a new guy or a new girl, like that's just all, like, honestly, if you really want to gauge a person's, I honestly believe this is wild, but it's true, in my opinion. If you really want to gauge a person's mental well-being, their state of mind, their calmness of mind, their level of consciousness, their level of awareness, I would say get in a car with them and see how they drive. See how they drive in all types of road conditions, all types of traffic conditions. Just see how they drive. And better than that, if you could be invisible, if you could just get a feed, if you could just get a camera feed. But eventually, even if you're sitting there, because they're going to act better for like people in their car, if people are riding with them in their car, because they don't want people to see how crazy they are. But you ride in that bitch long enough, you're going to see. It's like just getting in relationships is like dating. It's like people fake it for as long as they can, but then eventually who they really are comes through. You just got to wait it. You just got to wait it out. You just got to wait long enough, and then you'll see, ooh, But if you really want to see if you want, like, honestly, don't even go on dates. I don't even know why people are like using dating apps and like going on dates. Just get in a car together, just drive and let's see what happens there, like just see how the person drives. That'll tell me a lot. That'll honestly tell me a lot. Not even driving tells me a lot. There's things that are way more subtle than that tell me a lot, but for most people, driving can tell you a lot. It's the jungle, man. You can get away with so much that you can't get away with when you're just a flesh meat suit standing in a freaking Whole Foods or standing in a bar surrounded by people that are drunk. Like your protection and the lack of ability to have consequences levied against you is what makes driving such a jungle, man. It is such a jungle. It's just pure. It's like, it shows you what people will do. Maybe it isn't a jungle, because in the jungle, you act out of line, you make one wrong move and you're fucking food, or you're getting your shit handed to you, getting your shit rocked. Maybe it isn't the jungle. Maybe it's some other perverted form of the human experiment. Gosh, we're just inventing new horrors, aren't we? Maybe driving is just It's just part of the, the conscious, some sort of horrific conscious experience, like horror experiment, but yeah, it just shows you what people will do if they can get away with it. And I don't know if there's really any losers or winners on the road, especially in traffic. You just do so much. People just end up doing so much to gain so little. It's wild. It's actually funny to see. It's funny to see how much people do, how hard they work, the crazy shit they do, all to get nothing. I mean, they're getting negligible win. And the turmoil that's going on in their brain, the turmoil that's going on in their mind as they drive like that, like, bro, you're losing whatever peace of mind you get from arriving at a place 1 minute earlier. You're losing that by just driving erratically in the first place. Dude, driving is wild. Anyway, I think that's it. That's the video.